Did you get your HiroQuest CDs? For real this time. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am TheOneEyedCrow, and today we're here to talk about the MetaZoo Weekly news from June 12th to June 18th. But first, a little bit of channel news. We just concluded our 500 subscriber giveaway. Congratulations to Bo for winning that. And we're only 153 subscribers away from our next goal of 750 subscribers. At that point, we'll be giving out a Wilderness Spellbook as well as some other things. It's really going to depend on what's the special release at the time that we hit that goal. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Jeff at Purple Elf Productions. He recently put out a video complimenting the channel on the factual information that's going out and the level of detail that goes out for the weekly news. So I wanted to say thank you to Jeff for the kind words there. And if you're not already watching Purple Elf Productions on YouTube, you should be. Jeff has some really fun and entertaining content. He's driving into fab cards, he's throwing them in lawnmowers, he's jumping into reservoirs. And on top of that, he does a ton of interviews with various people in the community. He's trying to hit 365 videos a year, and he gets a lot of content out. So please check out Purple Elf Productions on YouTube. Alright, on to the news. The first thing we got to look at this week was some code written by Mike. This was a Python script that he wrote that pulls in images and information from an Excel sheet to build digital cards for playtesting. And I don't think I've talked about this before. I have a background in software engineering. I'm actually a manager now, so I do very little software engineering now. But I really geeked out over this tease and really just kind of got into the guts of that code and saw what it was doing. And it was pretty cool to see that bit of history. The next tease that we got was of this armless blue humanoid creature here wearing balls and chains around its neck. And it looks to be walking along the bottom of a lake, presumably due to the balls and chains weighing it down. And I feel like there's a story here. It's unclear what set this beastie will be a part of, but I'd imagine that it's going to be either part of UFO or HiroQuest. The UFO release event medals are off the printers and wrapped up. Alongside the preview of the wrapped up release event medal was the text "Can't wait for Roswell," implying that there is going to be a physical event in Roswell, New Mexico. So I can't wait to get more details on that and figure out who's going to be going to that. We had another birthday this week for GreenStarWorld. GreenStarWorld is responsible for making all of the MetaZoo cards. And I believe what this means is that GreenStarWorld is responsible for the layout of the cards, where things lie, setting that all up. Not necessarily the art itself, obviously. And Mike had said that GreenStarWorld was born under a total solar eclipse in the Antarctic. And 3 weeks ago, I would have believed it, but I'm gonna call BS on this one. You're not fooling me again, Mike. And last week we got our first look at the UFO Pin Club with this Van Meter pin, and this week we're treated to what the boxes will actually look like for the UFO Pin Club. And these boxes are gorgeous. It's an all-silver box with the lettering raised for the UFO symbol and the text on the box, and it's inlaid with a design of UFOs. I honestly would buy this box just to display it and look at it, and that's not something I normally do. I do have some sealed product, but I'm not really a sealed product collector. But from what I've seen on the UFO products so far, I'm actually very inclined to keep some of this sealed. And as I'm recording this right now, we actually did just get another drop for the UFO Pin Club. We got a look at the UFO pin, and the interesting thing about this is that it's going to glow in the dark. Now, I don't know if this means that the actual UFO pin, the base set pin, will glow in the dark, or if this is a property of the alt art pin that we've seen with some of the other alt art pins like the Mothman in the past. And while we're on the subject of UFO products, we actually did get a look at the uncut sheet for the UFO Booster Box, and we've seen some of this before. It has the Flatwood Monster, it has a UFO, it has the Foo Fighters, Sacred Wing, and it has that western looking dinosaur which we don't really know the name of yet. And in the video showcasing the uncut Booster Box sheet, they actually did drop a snippet of the UFO song, and it is pure fire. I love this song. I think it's probably my favorite of all of them so far, including Nightfall. I'm not going to play it here on the channel simply because I don't think that it's going to comply with copyright laws, so we're going to leave that out. I suggest you go find the video and watch it. I'll put a link in the description below so you can find that easier. The second round of free LGS kits has officially closed this week, and these will allow LGSs to easily meet the requirements to have UFO allocation for free. I imagine that this is the last time that the LGS kits will go live on the site. We're getting pretty close to UFO in the grand scheme of things. It's only a month and a half away, and these still need to ship out and get to LGSs so they can sell the product. The last round of partnerships was also announced. All accepted partners should have received an email to confirm their allocations on the 14th. For those of you that did become partners, reach out to Mythic Dio in the Discord to get your roles. And again, congratulations to everybody who became a partner for MetaZoo. Now, in another announcement this week, Mike had said, "Would be really cool if I did a summer tour in July, August and visited LGSs across the US to do free signings and support the local community. What do you think?" I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is a rhetorical question and that he's planning on doing this anyway. I imagine that he's going to be traveling to stores that are in the MetaZoo Play Network or the store locator to support them, since they're supporting him. And I'm really excited for this because I honestly don't think I'm going to be able to make any conventions this year. Though I did hear an unconfirmed rumor that Collecticon is going to be in Portland next year, which is only about 2 hours away from me. So if that's true, yes! But I would honestly travel a couple hours to go meet Mike and get something signed. So if this trip is real and you're going to be in the New England area, can't wait to see you, Mike. On the 15th, the fan art contest entries came to a close. Good luck to everybody that was entered, and I honestly can't wait to see what the outcome of this contest is. I've seen a number of the art that's been submitted in the various Discords, and there's just some amazing art out there, and something that I think is going to make a great set for the 2022 fan art blisters next year. And alongside that reminder that the fan art contest was closing, we got to look at this flashlight frog art here. And going forward, I'm honestly just going to pretend that Moses had a flashlight frog in his pocket. Let my tadpoles go! Seance Playtesting is also now closed, and thank you to all who are participating in that to help make MetaZoo a better game going forward. A lot of time and thought goes into playtesting and the feedback loops that come from that, so really, thank you. We got to look at this year's 4th of July card asking who's going to be doing a barbecue in a few weeks. It's safe to say that we're going to be getting access to this card in some way, shape, or form on July 4th. And given the announcement text, and I'm probably reading way too far into this, I imagine that it might be related to having to take a selfie while doing a barbecue. But that could just be because I'm waiting for more scavenger hunt details. The New York City promo cards just went out, and after seeing those cards, I'm having some extreme FOMO. The card itself is beautiful, and honestly, I should have just driven the 6 hours to go to New York City for this. Also on the 15th, MetaZoo sent out a form to collect anonymous feedback. And this is a way for you to tell MetaZoo what you think they're doing well, what you think they're not doing well, and what you think that they should do for the future. Now, I haven't done mine yet, but I do plan on actually giving feedback once I'm done with this video and get this wrapped up. And this is really a great way for the community to get their thoughts off their chest and in front of MetaZoo. Obviously, there are things that we want to make sure that MetaZoo knows, but aren't necessarily fit for the Discord. Things that might be negative or your thoughts that may not paint MetaZoo in a positive light, and a lot of that comes from frustration of how some things go. It's only natural. It's okay to have those feelings, but the MetaZoo Discord just isn't the place to express that. At the end of the day, it's a company community social platform. So really, I encourage you to participate in this forum, to let MetaZoo know what you're thinking, what you're frustrated about, what you think they're doing well, but also remember that the goal here isn't to allow people to vent, it's to allow people to be respectful and constructive about what they think about MetaZoo. Before we continue on with the news, let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to be immortal? Well, you can't be, but you can come close with Immortal Workshop. I would like to announce that I now have an affiliate link. So if you want to support Immortal Workshop and the channel, you can use that link, it's in the description below, and I'll get a percentage of any of the sales you make on their site. And right now, if you're looking to chase some Green Man or Golden tickets, the Wilderness products on the site are at a pretty deep discount, so I would highly suggest checking that out. Immortal Workshop also has a really cool UFO pre-order bundle on their website you can check out. It's not live yet, obviously, because pre-orders can't be taken yet, but you can have a look at what's in there, and the cool thing there is this mat that was designed by Lord Cork, and this is something I'm really excited about because it's the first official product that has my logo on it. So please, if you want to get yourself some product and support the channel at the same time, use the affiliate link below. Immortal Workshop is actually running an event on the MetaZoo Play Network tonight. The event is in Vint Hill Farms, Virginia, so if you are local to that, please consider going. You'll be able to meet John from Immortal Workshop there, and honestly, he is a pleasure to work with and somebody who is, in my opinion, a pillar of the community. And at that event, everybody's going to be getting a free Wilderness theme deck, and if you're new to MetaZoo, you're going to get a free blister pack as well. And the prize support, the top prize, is a Wilderness Booster Box, so there's some good prizes to win there. HiroQuest successfully launched on June 16th, selling out in just under 5 hours. So in the grand scheme of MetaZoo releases, this was an utter failure. Let's be honest. 5 hours? Come on, MetaZoo, you can do better than that. Now, HiroQuest was available at HiroQuest.com, which is backed by the DimMac website, and they vastly underestimated the power of the Zoo. The checkout process quickly became overwhelmed and unresponsive, and this honestly caused some to give up on the HiroQuest release altogether. And honestly, one of the things that I took away from that, and again, software engineer, is how well MetaZoo actually handles these releases on the MetaZoo marketplace. It's not uncommon for websites to go down during a new release. Think about PlayStation's going live, Xboxes, etc. This is a problem that Walmart can't handle, that Best Buy can't handle. And I really shouldn't say can't, it's more like won't or don't anticipate and scale up their services. So I would like to take a second to appreciate the releases that MetaZoo does, and that we don't have these problems when we have a MetaZoo release on the marketplace. We have problems where things sell out too fast because there's not problems. And ultimately, there seemed to be more than enough supply to meet the demand of the people wanting to get into HiroQuest. We now know that there are 64 cards in the set, but we don't really know what the distribution of full holo to reverse holo to non-holo is yet. And let's be honest, we're all thinking they're secret rares. And now we just wait to see where we fall on the Billboard charts. Do you think we can make the top 10? And I have to say, I'm actually really happy about this release because my Christmas shopping's done for the year. My entire family's going to be getting Steve Aoki's hit CD, HiroQuest. Don't tell them, it's a secret. And they don't really watch this channel anyway, so they're not going to know. It was also announced that the Whatnot partnership is stronger than ever, although they won't be getting any UFO allocation. They'll need to be going to their local game stores to get the UFO products that they want to rip on stream. And I'm a little conflicted on this announcement because I think this could mean two things really. Either the streamers are going to take lower margins in order to get UFO out to customers and rip it on stream, which I honestly don't think is going to be the case for most streamers. I think some will probably do that. Or the more likely scenario is that cost is going to be transferred to the consumer. Whatnot streamers are going to be paying more to have UFO in hand to open on stream, and in effect, they're going to be charging more per pack to open them. Now, the interesting part of this announcement is they said that they have something else in the works for Whatnot. So while margins for Whatnot streamers could decrease with UFO, or the cost could be transferred to the consumer, there will likely be something exclusive to Whatnot to offset those changes. Now, there was an announcement this week for time to launch on Thursday, June 16th at 5 a.m. Eastern Time, and obviously this was referring to the Sent into Space launch. Many of us thought that there was going to be live coverage of this, but we're up at 5 a.m. just for the fun of it. I honestly don't know what I was even expecting to watch. Luckily for me, my daughter was up sick that night, so I was up anyway. She's fine now, thanks for asking. Anyway, at 5 a.m. on June 16th, 120 cards were sent into space. Alongside that was a roll of foil, which is going to be used to stamp an 8-bit UFO on every single UFO booster box. Now, the interesting thing there is we know that there was 12 cards individually sent to space in that image, and with 120 cards, that means that all 12 of those are going to be serialized 10 out of 10. And if we zoom in on that image of the cards up in space, we actually get a good look at the fire beastie that's in the front there. This one was not smudge tooled out this time, and we've actually seen this a few other times in some of the other art. Specifically, a few weeks ago, there was a post that said Nightfall meets Wilderness meets UFO, and this was the giant snake-like beastie in the sky. We still can't read the card very well here, but I'm pretty confident that the second word in the name is snake. So if you guys can figure that out, let me know. And before we get to the top news story, I'm going to introduce a new segment that I'm going to do every week on this channel. Each week, we're going to have a new trivia question, and I'm going to pin that in the comment section below. All you need to do is reply with the correct answer, and I'm going to choose a random person that answered it correctly to win a $15 gift card to Immortal Workshop. Now, I would like to do something special with this segment, so I'm going to be asking other content creators and other people in the community to do the questions. And this week's question is presented by Jeff from Purple Elf Productions.
Hello, everybody! I wanted to make a video today for my brother OneEyedCrow to give you all a little trivia question in honor of OneEyedCrow. So here's a question for you, because I like to talk about the playability of this game we play, MetaZoo. Tell me if you know this. Speaking of one eyes, tell me a beastie that has one eye and 100 life points.
So there you have it. There's our first ever trivia question for the channel. Answer it below. If you get it right, you have a chance to win a $15 gift card to Immortal Workshop. The PFP NFT release has been delayed into next month. There's no new tentative date for the drop yet, and there's reasons for that. Now, I'm not a market analyst. I don't do market analysis or anything like that for the channel, so I honestly can't really get too specific here because I'm just not well versed in that area. But at a high level, a lot of money is flowing out of the crypto markets right now. People are pulling their assets out and are unlikely to buy back in until there's stability in the market again. And the NFTs are not immune to this. They're backed by the crypto market. And in my opinion, the MetaZoo NFTs are still a strong buy. They have real world utility. And the crypto space isn't MetaZoo's primary market, so they're not going anywhere, which makes the NFTs more reliable. I bought my Silver Party token and my Bigfoot Genesis before the drop in Ethereum, and I honestly don't regret it. I'm gonna get use out of those NFTs. Ethereum is eventually going to bounce back, famous last words. And even if it doesn't, the utility is still there. So ultimately, I feel like Mike and team are making a really good choice here to ensure that the project doesn't go live in a period of heavy FUD. And this change was addressed in the private NFT channel. There was permission to share this publicly. There will be an official public announcement from MetaZoo on this. So if that hasn't dropped by the time of this video, expect that. Who knows, I could just be making stuff up here and you guys might think it's true. Hashtag fake news, because that means hashtag. Well, that's all I had to discuss this week. There's really a lot going on between HiroQuest, the PFPs, and UFO coming out soon, and I can't wait to see what MetaZoo holds in the coming weeks. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.